Hello everyone, my name is Yiting. I'm a dietitian here from Simple Balance Nutrition. I will be doing today Nutrition and Health Talk webinar. The topic is how to improve your immunity with diet and lifestyle change. So without further ado, I will just start sharing my screen and so that we can get started. So I will be sharing my screen here. All right, so here's the topic for today, how to improve your immunity with diet and lifestyle change. So my name is Yiting. I'm a dietitian here from Simple Balance Nutrition. So in order to let you guys to see all my slides, I will be just closing myself here so then I will let you guys to see all my PowerPoint slides here. Right. Okay, so welcome everyone. So with the growing concern about the COVID-19 and has caused a lot of surge online and people was asking about, how to probably protect yourself against the virus. So in addition to the proper hand washing and social distancing, so what else can you do to improve your health? So the COVID-19 is caused by the coronavirus, so which attack the immune system when it enters the body and destroy the lung, your heart, and many other major organs. So in the absence of the vaccines, having a strong immune system is probably the best defense against COVID-19 for now. So based on the clinical observation so far, the majority of the COVID-19 patients who become severely ill or develop a critical conditions were those people who with a very weak immune system, especially those elderly patients or those with underlying conditions, such as they have obesity, diabetes, or hypertension. So this observation clearly underscored the importance of having a strong immune system. That's why you are here today. So before we get started, I would like to just introduce myself again. I'm the founder and the dietitian of Simple Balance Nutrition, and this is my nutrition background. I have a Master and Bachelor of Science in Applied Human Nutrition degree, and right now I'm practicing in Malaysia as a freelance private practice dietitian. I'm focusing on chronic disease management and child and family nutrition, and also women health as well. So today's our learning objective will be what is the immunity and what are the type of immunity, and most of you guys might want to know how and what is the food related to immunity and how to boost your immune system by using this kind of food. So first of all, you want to understand the importance of the healthy immune system is responsible for fighting the foreign invader in the body, like the pathogenic bacteria and virus, and also destroy cells within the body when they become cancerous. So poor nutrition can also result in increased infections, slow healing from injury and infections, and increase the susceptibility to symptoms and complications from immune system dysfunctions. And we have studies show that immune functions often decrease with age. But recent research has suggested that this decrease is also related to our nutrition and our diet as well. And maybe we can slow down or maybe stop by maintaining a healthy nutrition diet. So before that, we might want to understand the rules of the immune system. Okay, so we have 3 rules the immune system to do for our body. So the first thing is to defense. Okay, try to prevent the inventions of external pathogens, and then they also help us to remove the invented pathogens and other harmful substances. And surveillance functions, which is like they recognize and remove the non-self component in our body, like a police, right? So they try to remove those is not our self, and which is like a tumor cell or maybe a dead cells from our body. And then the third rules is to homeostasis. They try to stabilize the internal environment of the immune system and try to destruct the abnormal and dead cells, which is like a dead red blood cell or white blood cell, and some kind of antigens, antibody complex as well. And for those of you who might want to know what is antigens, the antigen is the foreign substance that can induce the immune response in our body, especially when the pathogens attack our body. So the antigen will attack the pathogen, which is the virus, and then they will induce the immune response. So our body will send out the police to catch the bad people. So our immune system is made up of special cell, tissue, and organ that work together to protect us. So the key primary lymphoid organs of the immune system are the thymus and bone marrow. And the secondary lymphatic tissues such as spleen, tonsils, lymph vessel, lymph nodes, and our skin. So here's the organ that will all produce the immune cells. This is what we call white blood cells. So when an infection or inflammatory conditions occur, the body will release the white blood cell to help fight the infections. So in this very complex picture, I just want you guys to remember a few notes from here. It is because our immune system is very complex. Okay, it's a very complex network of cells and protein that defends the body against the infection and maintain our human health. But our immune system, to immune from a disease, we have to convert to a cooperative defense system, which is the non-specific immunity we call innate, and also the specific immunity we call acquired. Okay, so we have two different immune systems here to protect our body. So the non-specific is the defense system with which you were born with. So we're born with that. So it protects you against all the antigens, which is all the foreign substance. And also it involves the physical barrier. You can see here the physical barrier is your skin, your mucosal membranes, your saliva, your hair, your stomach acids, which is your digestive enzyme and things like that. Try to keep the harmful material from entering your body. So again, so when the pathogen, which is the germ or the bacteria or the virus, pass through the barrier, like they pass through your skin or they pass through your saliva, they come in to attack your body, then your body will have the inflammations, will have the reactions. Okay, so that's the non-specific immunity. But the specific immunity is the ability of the human body to resist infection, to acquire infections or artificial vaccinations. So normally, the human body will only develop immunity after being stimulated by antigen or stimulated by a bacteria or the virus attack us. So like they can react to a specific virus, okay? So I want you guys to remember like the acquired immunity here. So we have T cell and B cells, so they can produce a lot of good immune cells, which is we call T cell and B cells here. So in the later of our nutrition topic, we will talk a lot about those. So with the acquired immunity is, again, they can further divide it into two subgroups, which is the active immunity and passive immunity. So you can see from the graph here, the active immunity is they can produce the antibody to prevent the body from being infected by a pathogen. Okay, so the active immunity refers to a process of exposing the body to an antigen to generate the acquired immunity response. So the response takes days or weeks to develop, but maybe last a very long time, okay? So active immunity can occur in two ways. One is natural, one is in artificial. So first we talk about the green part of this. So the natural immunity from the active immunity here is created when a person becomes infected by a disease, okay? So for example, someone who becomes infected with chickenpox, so after initial infections, the body will build immunity against the disease. So that's why you see people who catch chickenpox are immune for many decades against the chickenpox disease. So they will never get chickenpox again, right? So that's what we call natural immunity. So the vaccine-induced one, which is an artificial one, is known as a person who can build a resistance to a disease after vaccination. So which just means that every year we need to get a flu shot, or maybe we need to take our kids to the clinic to get some vaccinations. So the vaccination is defined as introducing of a kill or weakens a form of the pathogen to a vaccination to a healthy persons. So the vaccines will mimic a specific disease, and therefore they can stimulate the immune response without giving us any, causing any harmful or any disease, okay? So they can just help us to remember that, okay, what kind of disease is that? Then the white blood cell that can produce the antibody to help us to protect that virus or the bacteria. Okay, then on the other side is the passive immunity. Passive immunity is when a person receives antibody in the form of an injections. Passive immunity does not require previous exposure to any disease agents, not like you have to get a chickenpox or maybe you have to get a vaccine. It can take effect immediately, but it does not provide long-lasting protections. Okay, so it is very short one. So they can either come from a natural, which is we call maternal. You can see a woman carry a baby, or artificial. So the maternal passive immunity is immunity passed along from the mother to a child. Okay, so before the child is born, the antibody are passed through the placenta to protect the children from a disease or illness. So after birth, if the kids continue to get the breast milk from the mother, so they can continue receive the passive immunity from the to form an antibody from the breast milk, okay, to protect themselves. But this very short term, it can only last for 1 to 2 years, then the protections will gone, okay? So the artificial passive immunity is usually coming from an injections from an antibody created within a different animal or different persons. So such as the rabies vaccines or the snake antivenom, two examples of the passive immunity, okay? So we have actually, I just want to show quickly for you guys to understand our immune system. Basically, we have 3 main layers of defense, okay? So first, we're talking about the first line of defense is our skin and mucous membranes. So that's what we call it. That's why we have hair, we have skin. So that can help us to protect ourselves against all the germs, the bacteria, the virus that can enter our body. Okay, so the second line of the defense, we are usually see all the white blood cells right there. So the white blood cells will eat all the bacteria or the virus when they break into our skin. So let's say we cut our skin. So the virus, the bacteria come into our system. And so then now the white blood cell will be produced by your body, by your organs to come and take a look. Okay, so here is the bad thing, then we need to eat them, we need to destroy them, we need to remove them. So that's your second line of your defense. And your third line of your defense is if a virus or a bacteria, they break through your first and second line of defense, they will enter your human body, which is your third line of defense. So here, they will stimulate your white blood cell, especially they will produce a protein called lymphocytes, which is your white blood cell. They can produce the antibody that can help you to resist the pathogens, okay? They can kill them. So the antibody can help the body eliminate the pathogens that try to invent into your body. And also when it clear, like everything's like you are recovered, so the antibody will still remain in your system, in your body. So when that happen again, when the flu coming in again, when you get sick again, so then the antibody will be still remain in your system. They will help you to fight again the same flu. If you're getting the same virus infections again, so they will help you to fight for that. Okay, so they have a remember cells. They can remember everything. Okay, so that's why sometimes we only we get sick once. So people will say we don't want to take too much of medication or antibiotics. So your body can automatically produce the antibiotic to help you to kill the bacteria, kill the virus, so then you can get a stronger immune system. So that's your third line of defense. They are more specific for a specific bacteria or specific virus. So that's why we call the third line of defense is specific defense. Okay. All right. So after understanding all our immune system is a very is a very complex one. I just don't want to throw too much of information to you guys, but now we have a different type of the immune system and our three different layer of our defense. Then we now move on to understand how nutrition can relate it to our immune system. Okay, so I want you to look at this graph. Okay, so when you're looking at the first side of this one, you can see poor diet. So poor diet can be contributed by lots of different factors. So for example, you have a very stressful lifestyle, you eat lots of fast food, you eat very poorly, you may be overweight, obese, and then you are restricted on your diet. Like you're trying to lose weight and you're restricted a lot of different food. You try to not eating this and not eating that, and you probably very picky as well. And maybe you're low income, then you have no enough of money buying fresh fruit and vegetable. And then you have a very sedentary lifestyle. So the very poor diet, very sedentary lifestyle, they can contribute to a suboptimal nutrition status. So which means that you can end up with nutrient deficiency or malabsorptions, malnutrition as well. And then in the end, you will be compromised for your immune functions. So which is like combined with your lifestyle. So for example, if you have a very poor sleep, you are having a very stressful life, especially right now, COVID-19, and then you have maybe you are living in the bad environments like air pollution, or maybe you're smoking and then you're drinking too much alcohol, things like that. They can compromise your immune functions. So in the end, the result will be increased the risk of your infections. Okay, so this is all come with a cycle. So after you understand, the nutrition is definitely the first line that we want to fix, okay? So, and also, when we talk about nutrition, we want to talk about your digestive system, okay? So we understand the previous picture that I show you, your skin, your mucous membranes, or your digestive enzyme, they all help you to absorb the nutrients. So you might want to look at your gastrointestinal tract has approximately 150 times more surface area than your skin. Okay, they absorb all the nutrients, all the good stuff. So it contains the largest number of immune cells in your whole body and constituting approximately 60% of your entire immune system. All right. So that's why lots of people will say, okay, you have a healthy gut, then you have a healthy body, right? So it comes in contact with the largest amount of the number of different molecules, organisms, or any organ in your whole body, right? So we might want to regulate the absorption of the nutrients. So whatever food go in, we want to have a healthy gut to absorb that nutrients. If you don't have a healthy gut to absorb the nutrients, whatever that you eat is not going to help. You will always still get sick, okay? All right, so the result is people might ask how to increase your immunity in a healthy way. So my answer is good nutrition, good immunity. So one of the main key to strengthen your immunity is good nutrition. So far, there's no scientific evidence showing that single food or single nutrients or a single supplement, they can help you to improve your immune system. We always talking about is the balanced diets, a good nutrition, a good balanced diet, okay? So that's what we're gonna talk about. I'm not gonna talk about only one single nutrient or one single food. I'm gonna give you some example, some of the food that can boost your immunity, and also how to implement into your diet, okay? Okay, so the first one is proteins. So the proteins is, the study have shown that if you're not eating enough of proteins, okay, it can result in reduce your immune cell, which is your T cell. They are unable for the body to make antibody, okay, and other immune related problems. So for example, your body not getting enough of protein, maybe your skin, your tissue is unable to repair, and also they can reduce the your ability to kind of remove the pathogens, right? So we have not enough T cell in the system, so we have difficulty to remove those kind of virus and bacteria from your body. Okay, so how can we get enough of protein in our diet? You might see the picture here, a palm size of protein in every single meal, okay? Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So we have two types of proteins. One is animal proteins and one is a plant-based protein. So like those people who eat vegetarians or vegan diet. But again, animal protein is easier to be fully utilized or absorbed by human body than a plant-based protein. But again, you can still 50-50%. You don't have to just all focusing on animal product, but then don't eat any beans or tofu, but you have to eat combinations. All right. So like, for example, lean meat. So like our chickens, our fish, eggs, milk product, your milk, your cheese, your yogurt, all kind of belong to the milk product. And your plant-based proteins is the beans, okay, like dal, tofu, tempeh, soy product, nut butter, so like your peanut butter, nuts and seed, any kind of nuts and seed you see in the market, so like peanuts, cashew, almonds, and quinoa, that's your whole grain. They also have very high in protein as well. So try to get enough of protein in your diets to help your body getting the tissue repair and producing more of the immune cells in your system. So the next one is the fat. So you might hear lots of people saying that omega-3 fatty acids. So omega-3 fatty acids is, if your diet is very low in omega-3 fatty acid, they can associate it with chronic inflammatory conditions and or autoimmune disease. Okay, so in like most of the time in our a lot of research showing that people eat more omega-3. Eat less of the omega-3 fatty acid, more omega-6 fatty acids. I show you two examples here, like the omega-6 fat usually coming from our vegetable oil, our cooking oil. So if your diet is very rich in like deep fries, a lot meal that very heavy in greasy food, very oily, right? So then your diet may be very high in omega-6. Very high in omega-6 can increase your inflammations, okay? So that's why we might want to increase the omega-3 intake in our diets. So omega-3 usually coming from our fish, and some eggs, they coming from, they maybe label them as omega-3 eggs, or flaxseed. If you don't eat fish, if you're allergic to eggs, and you can use flaxseed as well, okay? Chia seed, flaxseed, or maybe walnuts in your diet, okay? So you can put walnuts into your breakfast. So that can be food that rich in omega-3. So you might want to increase your omega-3 intake in your diet and reduce the greasy food, reduce the oily, deep fried food, okay? That sunflower oils and sunflower seed, they're all still good. They are all good. But the point is, research has been showing that our diet is very high in omega-6, very low in omega-3 because we're not eating enough of fish or flax seeds and walnut, thing like that. So you might want to balance out, okay? So cut back the oil you use for cooking, increase your fish intake. I usually recommend eating the fish at least 2 to 3 times a week, okay? All right, next one is fiber. So talking about our absorption, right? So we're talking your intestines, the nutrients you need to absorb into your system. So for sure, the fiber is very important. So fiber is coming from your fresh fruit and vegetable, your whole grains, okay? They can promote a healthy gastrointestinal system, okay? Try to move, right? So move everything along for your body. So usually those fiber food, they can be fermented by a friendly bacteria, which is the probiotic in our system, in our colons, to short-chain fatty acids. So they can help us to fuse our gastrointestinal tract cells. Okay, so that's why we need that fiber in our diet. So lots of people say, okay, so I take probiotic to increase my immune system. But again, if you don't eat enough of fiber, the probiotic, they need to eat fiber as their food, right? So if you're not eating enough of fiber, it doesn't matter how expensive the probiotic supplement that you go for, you're not getting that beneficial, okay? So you might want to still aiming for getting your fiber intake. And if you're still taking probiotic supplements or you're taking probiotic food, so for example, like yogurt, you might want to pair with fruit and vegetable with your yogurt to eat together to increase the beneficial of using probiotic. So, and we all know fiber can promote the removal of toxins from your intestines, and they can help you to support a healthy digestive functions, okay? So fruit and vegetable, that's what we're gonna focusing on in the next few slides. A lot of fruit and nutrients, and then we're gonna talk about. So they're not just coming from having a fiber, but they also have a lot of different nutrients. Okay, so first thing is the B vitamins for a healthy immune system, okay? So the B vitamins have a lot of families. So we have B1, B2, B3, B5, B6, and B12, okay? So, but here I just give you guys a few examples how they do to our immune system. So for example, B5, they promote the productions and release of antibody from B cells. And deficiency of the B5, if you're not eating enough, they can reduce in the level of circulating antibody in your system. And if you have not enough of folic acids, that can lead to decrease your T cell and support the production of the red blood cell, which carry the oxygen around your body. If you're not getting enough of B6, it can also impair your T cell functioning and result in decrease in blood lymphocytic counts, okay? B1, B2 are very important in normal antibody response, and your B12, usually they appear to inhibit phagocytic cells and possibly T cell functions. And here, that's where they're coming from, okay? So actually, the the B vitamins, they come from a lot of different kind of food. Okay, so they can come from whole grain. So whole grain can be your brown rice, your barley, your meatlets. They can also coming from your meat as well, your red meat, your poultry, which is your chickens and your fish. Most of the time they're coming from our fruit and vegetable. Okay, and whole grain, of course, our bread and stuff like that. But the vegetable, I will just give you a few examples. So when you're eating a single vegetable, you're not just getting a single nutrient, you're getting a multiple. So for example, if you're having a salad like romaine lettuce, so they are very rich in B1 and B2, and as well as vitamin C and folate as well. Your spinach is an excellent source of folate and vitamin B6 and vitamin C. Cauliflower is an excellent source of vitamin C, folate, vitamin B6, and your B5. Okay, mushroom, same thing, very rich in B2, niacin, and B5. Red bell pepper, which is your bell pepper, the sweet pepper, excellent source of B6. And your B12, so for people who are vegan or vegetarian, they're probably not getting enough of B12 because B12 usually coming from animal product. So our fish, salmon, tuna, sardine, or shrimp, or beef, or lamb. So if you're vegetarian, you probably need to take vitamin B12 supplements. But if not, then if you are eating beef or if you are eating like fish, shrimp in a regular week, then you're probably getting some of the B12 in your diet. All right, so vitamin C, here you go. When the pandemic of like COVID-19 happens, so people who, like everyone run into the pharmacist to try to get vitamin C supplements. So is that necessary? So here's the research have been showing that you don't really actually need that much of vitamin C. You can actually get vitamin C coming from your food, okay? So we all know the vitamin C is a very strong antioxidant. Okay, they can support healing and on the side of your inflammations. Okay, especially when people who have flu, cough, or runny nose, then they can help you to reduce the length of the time and severity of the symptom of that flu. Okay, so they have some benefit, but again, you don't need that much. If you eat your fruit and vegetable every single day, you're definitely getting enough of vitamin C. You don't actually really need to take extra vitamin C. The extra vitamin C you take, you probably will risk your life to getting like kidney stone. Okay, so if they not be able to get rid of from your body. So we all know vitamin C water soluble. You can pee out if you don't need. But again, if you get too much, you know, when the pandemic COVID-19 happened, like people will recommend, like I don't know how much they're taking. They're probably taking like thousands, 2,000, 5,000 of vitamin C. For a day. I mean, like the milligram of vitamin C, 5,000 or 4,000 milligram of vitamin C. That's too much for your body to try to get rid of if they don't need for your body. So you don't need that much. You need it from naturally from your food. Okay. Okay, so where they are coming from? So you can see here from my picture, they are coming from, of course, the citrus fruit. So like your mandarin orange, your lime, your lemons. But again, if you probably don't know the bell pepper, the red sweet bell pepper, they have highest vitamin C than oranges. So if you're using bell pepper a lot in your diet, then you're probably getting a lot of vitamin C, okay? And some green vegetables like broccoli, kale, bok choy, guava, see that all can find in Malaysia. It's very easy to find them. Guava, papaya, mango, kiwi, they're all very high source of vitamin C, okay? So try to get some of those into your diet every single day. And then the next one is vitamin A, E, K. So they are fat-soluble vitamins, okay? The vitamin C and B is water-soluble. So if you eat too much, you will pee them out. But A, E, and K, they are fat-soluble vitamin. They will store in your body, okay, if you eat them too much. So that's why you need to pay attention on that as well. Sometimes when you're taking multivitamins or something like that, we'll talk about the supplement later. But now, let me tell you, like, if you are not eating enough of vitamin A, it will show that you might have impaired antibody functions or T cell activity. So what about vitamin E? Vitamin E is a very super antioxidants. So they help you to support a healthy inflammatory response, and is a very important component of all cells membranes and promote a healthy cellular functioning overall. And vitamin K usually support a healthy blood clotting ability in your body. So it's necessary for seclusions of area of infections and the injury in the healing process. So for example, if you have a cut of your skin, okay? So when you have a cut of your skin, all the bacteria or maybe the virus try to get into your body, which is your first line of defense. When your first line of defense, the skin is already been cut, so they will try to get through it. But right now, if your body have enough vitamin K, they can help you to clot. They will make the blood to clot, okay, so they can stop the infections happening. All right, and at the same time, the white blood cell in your system will try to eat all the pathogens, which is all the bacteria and virus, try to get inside to your body. So again, so you will see your healing is getting quicker to heal. Okay, your wound will heal very quickly. So A, E, and K, where are they coming from? Vitamin A, we all know they're coming from carrot, right? So like green, yellow type of vegetables, so like sweet potato, pumpkins, papaya. But we also want to remember as well, vitamin A is a different type of carotenoids. Okay, so they're also coming from green leafy vegetable like spinach and bok choy, so all kind of leafy green. They have leaf vegetable. Okay, vitamin E usually coming from oil. Okay, so the oil you use for cooking, the nuts and seeds we eat as a snack, or maybe avocado. All right. And vitamin K coming from all the green vegetables, so like broccoli, spinach, lettuce, asparagus, and kale. So they also come from different other vegetable, but again, mostly they are more focusing on green vegetable. Okay. All right. So the next one is the minerals. You might hear about the zinc before. So the zinc is if you deficiency in zinc, they can result in profound suppressions of your T cell functions. But however, people will hear that, okay, so zinc can help me to boost my immunity, then I will just take zinc supplements. But again, the research have been showing that too much of zinc have been showing negative effect on the immune functions and can also inhibit the phytocytic cells, which is your white blood cells. They can inhibit their functions. So your white blood cell, right? So they unable to really. So we want to maintain your zinc level in a very adequate level, but not too much and not too low, right? So that's why this is a perfect reason for us to understand is not just a single supplement that can help you to boost your immune system. You need to take it as a balance and variety from your food, all right? So not just a single nutrients. If too much, they can also give you a negative effect of that. Okay, so where's the zinc come from? So the zinc usually coming from, people will maybe give you an example, which is oyster, okay? So oyster is very, very rich source of zinc, but again, not a lot of people love eating oyster or eating like shellfish in their diet. So again, so we might want to aiming for eating more meat, okay? So meat can still have very rich source of zinc. So remember, meat is also rich in protein. So again, when you're eating your meat for your protein, you're also getting some zinc for your diet, all right? And organ meat, so like liver, maybe not a lot of people will eat organ meat. So that's why most of your zinc might be coming from the meat. But another plant source can be your pumpkin seed. So I'll show you a picture here. It's just a small portion size. You don't need a big bag of that pumpkin seed, maybe just a handful. So for your hand, so it's about a handful of your pumpkin seed. That's good enough to get your zinc. Okay, so if you don't want to eat seed, you can eat nuts. You can eat peanuts, cashew, almonds as well. Those can also, it's a good source of zinc. Your dairy product, your milk and your cheese. So if you're drinking milk, if you're eating your cheese, you're also getting some zinc from it. So another minerals that can help you to support your immune system is copper and iron. So if you're not getting enough of copper deficiency can associate it with increase in infections, and they can also impair your development of immune cells such as T cell or your white blood cells as well. Okay, so your iron, same thing, that can impair the response to antibody and defective your white blood cell functioning. So where they come from? So the coppers, they are pretty much same as the zinc. They are also coming from shellfish, which is your crab, your shrimp, your oyster, and as well as seed and nuts, organ meat, which is like liver, wheat bran cereal, like your breakfast cereal. Like, so if you're eating breakfast cereal, you're getting some of the copper, your whole grain product like your whole wheat bread for breakfast, stuff like that. And of course, some of the chocolate. So if you eat in moderation, you're getting some copper for that as well. Okay. And iron, we have two types of irons. Okay. So iron, if you think about vegetarian or not vegetarian, so heme iron, non-heme iron. Heme iron is usually coming from meat. Okay. So the protein. So anything looking red. So like lean meat, chicken, seafood, eggs, those have heme iron. The non-heme iron is the nuts and beans, some vegetable like broccoli and kale. They do have some iron, and some fortified grain products, so some iron as well. So if you are vegetarian, you probably eat more of the non-heme iron, and you might want to pair with vitamin C to help you to absorb the iron, because non-heme iron is not easily absorbed into our system. So you want to pair with eating fruit or vegetable when you're eating like tofu, eating beans on your meal. So then the vitamin C can help you to absorb the iron into your system. Okay. Okay, so the next one is after the minerals, then we have herbs. So people will ask, like I hear about like the people talk about some herb or spices can help us to improve our immune system. Is it true? I will give you a few examples, some of that, and then so then you might want to try some of that in your recipe. Okay, so for the cinnamon is a very popular spice. So it has antifungals, antibacterial property, and as well as they are also having an anti-inflammatory property as well. The reason is because they have a compound we call cinnamaldehyde. Okay, cinnamaldehyde is an active compound that can reduce inflammation and infections, and they also have some content. They can usually salicylate is also found in the aspirins. They can help us to reduce the pains and promote the heart health, helping to prevent the blood clots. So that's why the cinnamon is something that we can usually use in our tea or our cooking or our baking as well. And garlic here. So garlic has antimicrobial and antiviral property. Same thing, they have an anti-inflammatory property as well. Because they contain a number of sulfur-containing compound, which is the allicin, okay? Allicins that help to prevent free radical damage to lining of the blood vessel, limiting the inflammations, okay? And the next one is Jinjo. Okay, so the Jinjo have a very active compound we call Jinjo. Okay, so they have the anti-inflammatory benefits and also antioxidant as well. And we all know that And Jinjo usually can help us to soothe our tummy ache. So it will help for your digestions as well. And the last one is turmeric. Okay, so I definitely see that a lot of people in Malaysia, then we all love curry. So we use lots of curry powder, and curry powder is a perfect blend of numerous spices and herb in it, including like turmeric, coriander, cardamoms, sweet basils, cumins, red pepper, garlic, mustard, ginger, or cinnamon in it. So again, the turmeric have a very special component, the orange yellow color powder one. We call it curcumins. So they have the anti-inflammatory, anti-cancer, and antibacterial property. So that's why turmeric is another good herb and spice to use for our cooking as well. Okay, so while I talk about a lot what food that can build our immune system, and you might also want to ask, are there any food they are bad for our immune system? So for sure, I give you 3 examples. So the processed food, they can be very problematic for your immune functions because some of the processed packaged food, they can have heavy metal in it, so they can suppress our immune system. So some of the processed food, they might have food additive in it, so they can give us a lot of side effect of the nutrients content. They probably don't have a very good quality of nutrients content in it. So some preservatives can give you a negatively effect on your gastrointestinal lining. Okay, so that's why we always recommend people try to eat less of the processed packaged food. Okay, the less processed, the better. A minimal process, that's fine, but the more processed, we just want to try to stay away from it. Okay, the last one is trans fats. So you maybe hear lots of health promotions or any posters saying that you try to avoid trans fat. Trans fat usually coming from a lot of cured meat, or maybe sandwich meat, or your margins, thing like that. So you might, if you're eating a lot of pastry, or you're eating a lot of baked goods, deep fry, you're probably eating a lot of trans fat. And the study has shown that the consumption of the trans fat can increase your inflammations. Okay, so they can increase your cardiovascular and type 2 diabetes, and they can also if you're eating more trans fat, the more you're eating, they can associate it with increasing the risks of cardiovascular and your mortality as well. Okay, so this kind of food, we all know, we try to stay away from, and we try to choose whole and fresh as we can. Okay, the more natural that we can, the less processed, the less packaged, the less deep fried, the better. Okay, so now people might ask, what about supplements? Okay, you talk about, that before I talk about vitamin B, vitamin C, vitamin A, E, and K, or probiotic. Is it okay to take supplements? But the thing is, no supplements that can replace a well-rounded diet. Okay, remember we talk about like one single food, they might have like 10 nutrients in it, right? So if you eat lettuce, if you eat red pepper, if you eat oranges, then you're probably getting like 10 or 20 different nutrients from one single food, not just one single nutrients from one single food. So again, if you're taking supplements, you might want to try to ask your doctor, or maybe consult a dietitian, like in the hospital or me, like try to get a review from your diet first to see which food group that you are lacking of. So then we will give you suggestion and what kind of supplement you can take, or maybe you can work on your diet, then you not need to take supplements. And most of it, the supplement doesn't guarantee that you will be free from getting sick. Same thing like the vitamin C doesn't guarantee that you are not gonna get COVID-19, right? So that's the reason. So supplements can be very short term, but they not be able to be a very long term replacement for everything that you're missing from your diet. Okay. All right, so the next, after we talk about the diet, now we need to move on to talk about lifestyle. I just want to give you some a picture to look at. So besides we talk about the diet, now we want to look at what different lifestyle that can affect immune functions. So you can see there's a lot of factors that can influence your immune system. So your age, if you're getting older, if genetic, we'll talk about a little bit genetic, and then obese, your weight problem, alcohol, smoking, exercise. Do you get vaccinations? Are you stressed in your life and things like that? So those can all affect your immunity. All right. So we'll talk a couple of the point here. So the first thing, sleeping. So definitely encourage you to get sufficient sleep. The reason is because we need to get at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night, okay? So if we are lack of sleep or have a very poor quality of sleep, okay, so they can link to a very high frequency of falling to sick and also slower to recover. If you're falling into sick and then if you're not sleeping well, then you have a very slow recovery, okay? The reason is because when we're sleeping, our body will produce one of the compound that's called cytokines. Okay, cytokines. So this is the proteins. They are produced by our immune system when we are in sleep. If we're not getting enough sleep, the cytokines will be low, okay? The production will be low, so they are unable to fight the infections or inflammations. If anything happen into your body, like the bacteria come and infect you or invent into your body, so that you don't have a good ability to fight for the infections, okay? So that's why you want to get enough sleep, at least 7 to 8 hours per day. Another one is stress. Okay, so I definitely understand that we have a lot of reason to feeling stress, from the money problem and to a demanding job, relationship with the family, and more that can be stress. So when we are stressed, the immune system doesn't function properly, okay? So that's because the stress can cause the body to release a lot of hormone, okay, especially the cortisol. So when the hormones release, they can reduce the body ability to make our white blood cell, okay? So when we don't have the cortisol, like all the hormone, they can inhibit the white blood cells productions. So we don't have enough white blood cell to fight for the harmful virus or bacteria. Okay, so when we get sick, we are very hard to recover. Okay, so to reduce the stress level, usually we'll recommend it exercise, meditation, yoga, grounding technique like mindful breathing as well. And the another one is stay active, okay? I'm not expecting everyone have to be like running marathons or going to the gym, buying a membership or something like that. But the point is, the goal here is to try to be active every day. If you can walk, you walk. If you can stand up, and you stand up. If you can do some 10 to 15 minute exercise, you do it, okay? You can just do it from YouTube. You like YouTube video. You don't have to go to buy expensive gym membership and go to the gym. So the point is, we want to moderate exercise, and then so that can help you to boost your immune system. The reason because this exercise can improve the flow of the blood through your cardiovascular system and helping in flushing the germ and toxins from the body to your through the sweat or the urines, okay? So then we can reduce the flu, the cold, and other illness when we exercise. The goal is to exercise at least 150 minutes per week, okay? Not per day, so per week. So basically when we break it down, it will be like 20 to 30 minutes per day. So if you're not be able to exercise on the weekend because you have more family time, you want to pay attention on your family or whatever, then you probably on your work day, then on your lunch hour, you might want to spend like 10 to 15 minutes to walk around like in the ground or whatever, in the area that you can exercise. So just do something like be active, okay? At least you're doing something. Okay, so here, one of the lifestyle here we want to focus is quit smoking, okay? Smoking can damage your physical barrier, which is your mucosa, which can keep the harmful substance from the outside. So again, we remember the first lines of defense. So if your mucosa is being damaged, then the harmful bacteria can go in your body easily. So that also, we all know that smoking can increase the risk of getting cancer and inflammation. So the cancer can be coming from everywhere from your body. So it can be like your mouth cancer, your kidney, liver, stomach, or pancreas as well. And also increase the risk of getting like COPD and pneumonia as well, especially the COVID-19, because the virus is targeting your lung. Okay, so if you are a smoker and your immune system is not that strong, so that can be very easily to be targeted by the virus, and then they can target your lung, and then you can get the pneumonia as well. Okay, so just be careful for that. Okay, so after that, so we talk about genetic, okay? Some people, they are born with certain genes, okay? So people will ask, okay, so I have weak immune system, then I get sick easily. But what about if I have very, very strong immune system? So those people we call overactive immune system. So which is like some case people are born with certain genes. Their immune system may react to a substance in the environment. They are normally harmless. For us, it's harmless, but for them, it's harmful. Okay, so this substance can cause allergens, and having the allergic issue. For example, they can be your pets. The pollens or any dust, anything like that. So here's some few examples. So for example, asthma, you can the response is in your lung, can cause coughing, wheezing, trouble breathing. Asthma can be triggered by common allergen like dust and pollens, or some smoke as well. And eczema, so the allergen can cause an itchy rash on your skin, such as the atopic dermatitis, and allergic rhinitis, and will be sneezing, running nose, and you can have swelling nasal passage from your indoor allergens as well, like the dust and pets, or outdoor allergen like pollen and mold. Okay, so that's overactive. Your body will recognize what usually harmless for you, so then they can overreact. So they try to protect you, but then you have that reaction, which is like running nose and sneezing all the time. Okay, another overactive immune system is the autoimmune disease. Okay, so the autoimmune disease is the body attack your own normal healthy tissue. Okay, they attack your own. Okay, so before we all know, like when we have a weak system, is the pathogens, which is out the foreign substance, which is the bacteria and the virus. They can attack us, but now is your own body attack yourself. So that the cause is unknown, and probably is a combination of the person genes, and sometimes it's an environment trigger for those genes as well. Okay, the 3 common autoimmune disease here, we'll just show you some examples, like type 1 diabetes. You will see those young kids, they have to take insulin, and that's because their own immune system attack and destroy their insulin producing cell in the pancreas. So that's why they're unable to make any insulin anymore. They need to take the medications, the injections every time. Okay, so the rheumatoid arthritis, so that's your immune system attack the joint. So if your knee pains and your finger joints all like very painful, so that means that your immune system is attacking your joint. So that can cause like redness, soreness, stiffness in the joint. And also celiac disease, this is not very common in Asia. They're very common in the Western country. Usually it's the immune system that attack the small intestines. So when you eat the gluten, which is the gluten containing food, which is like our white bread, whole wheat bread, the wheat product, so they can damage your finger-like projection, the villi that in our intestines, they usually help our body to absorb the nutrients. So for people who are like that, they are unable to absorb a lot of nutrients. So that's why they end up with a lot of malnutrition. They might have a nutrient deficiency. Okay, so to summarize what we have for today, to support our healthy immune system is to try to consume adequate proteins and healthy fat, which is omega-3. All right, so and maintaining a healthy, balanced variety of diet. Obviously, is eat your rainbow, okay? And for your lifestyle, you try to quit smoking, get plenty of sleep, relax, and minimize your stress in your life, exercise regularly, try to maintain a healthy weight, okay? So that's kind of a summarize for the lifestyle and diet change for that. So try to focusing on more whole food rather than processed food. Okay, so the key is still balance, moderation, and variety, okay? So if you're asking me, like, can I eat chocolates? Can I drink bubble tea? Yes, of course, but everything is in moderation, part of your diet. And so as long as you're eating healthy for the whole day, if you want to have a bubble tea, if you want to have a piece of chocolate, it's fine, right? So it's part of your diet. But that's, again, we are never ever believe that's only one miracle food or drink or supplement that can help you to boost your immunity or cure any disease, okay? Everything is about balance and variety and moderations. Okay, so in the end, so again, I just want to show you this example of that healthy plate. So why I want to say that we want to eat lots of fruit and vegetable, because half of our plate need to be fruit and vegetable. A quarters need to be fish and whole grain, and then your another quarters will be your whole grains. Okay, and then you drink your water or your milk for your beverages. And then here I want to just show you, beside we talk about the diet and healthy lifestyle change, and because we are still in the middle of the pandemic of COVID-19, I just want to give people the last message is hand washing and social distancing. So always practice your good personal hygiene. Bring your own antibacterial soap or any hand sanitizer with you. Always practice proper hand washing, which is like 20 seconds to wash your hand truly and dry your hands after that, okay? And also keep your social distance when you're going out. And then in the last, I just want to give you guys some example of how to incorporate the food that we just talked about, okay? So for example, I'll give you like 2 separate days. So this is a 1 day. Breakfast, you probably want to eat an oatmeal with the dairy and the milk in it. So the dairy is full of different color, and then you can put chia seed, you can put flaxseed in it, and you have oatmeal, you have milk in it. And then you might want to pair with some kind of protein like and eggs, okay? And then lunch, you might want to pack a salad and with a grilled chicken on it. So you might have a chicken wrap, or you maybe have a chicken salad, thing like that. So always making sure half of your plate is the vegetable, and then you have proteins, thing like that. And then your afternoon snack, maybe you pack a small little package of yogurt to work, and then you bring some fruit as well. So fruit can be like banana, can be oranges, can be apple, can be papaya that we talk about, any kind of mango, thing like that, okay, with your snack in the afternoon. And then your dinner, if you go home, if you don't want to eat too much rice, then you might want to aim for like baked sweet potato or pumpkins. Then you have some fish, and then you have some variety of colorful vegetable right there as well. Can be stir-fried. And then the next day, you might want to still aiming for the same breakfast, but you want to use a different type of the way of cooking your eggs. Maybe you want to have a poached egg. And then lunch, you might have a stir fry. Maybe you go to hawker center, you have a stir fry or something. And then afternoon, you might want to include some nuts and seeds in your diet, right? So you have a banana, then you have some nuts and seeds. We talk about lots of food like copper and zinc. They are very rich in nuts and seeds in it. And then your dinner, maybe you're eating out. Maybe you have a teriyaki chicken or teriyaki salmon for the brown rice and the stir-fry vegetable. And then for dessert, then you might have a sweet potato savory soup, or some, if you don't want to eat sweet potato savory soup, this is more like a Chinese style, but you might want to aim for baked sweet potato fries or something like that. Okay, so at last, so that's all we have for today. So this is my contact number and my website, so Simple Balance Nutrition, and my Facebook Simple Balance Nutrition. You're always welcome to go to my website and my social media page to look for more helpful information. And if you have any questions, you guys are welcome to send it to your HR, and you always can let them know, so then I can always update some of the questions that you guys have. All right, so that's it for today, and I hope you guys enjoy today's webinar, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.